Hello, welcome back to Daisy's Live on Red, White, and Brown, brought to you by Mira and Michael. And today we got a big lineup for you. We got a little bit of shows, a little bit of movies, everything across the board. And we're very excited to bring you everything that's hit from this week. Before we do, Mira, how was your week?
My week was busy and it's almost Halloween, by the way. So, hey guys, hope your party suits are out and you're thinking of parties and you're already having parties if not. But yeah, some people have exams, some people have deadlines, but a lot of us have parties. But having
Yeah,
said that,
we are
having said
wishing
that,
you a
a
spooky.
huge slew of movies is hitting your screens next week. But this week we got two big movies. This Diwali week we got two big movies, and one release from 2017, re-released on Amazon Prime. It is an award-winning movie called Gali Guliyan, which is streaming now on Prime. The other two big movies that released was Akshay Kumar's Ram Setu, and of course, thank God, Siddharth Malhotra and Ajay Devgan's Thank God. And of course, the third section, or should I say third season of the Indian Predator. This time it's Murder in the Courtroom. Definitely better than the other two first seasons that we reviewed for you earlier. But let's get started with Ram Setu.
And so I know that you watched this one a little bit, Ramsey too. This one was honestly a little interesting. It had a little bit of myth and religion going on into it, but it was a
Michael,
interesting.
it was a copybook movie about taking a seemingly scientific person who is a scientist, who's an archaeologist, and you take him to India, and then by the time the movie's done, the guy believes in really weird myths and that, sorry to call it, but by the end of the movie, I was flabbergasted that they actually ended up creating a reason for the guy to disbelieve science. So this movie is about literally, there is a controversy in India about some limestone shoals. There's an entire bridge of limestone shoals that connects Pamban and Munnar islands in the south of India. And there is this entire belief that this was built by Lord Rama and some stuff like that. And it's not a natural phenomenon. Imagine limestone shoals not being a natural phenomenon, but some God coming to Earth to create them. Um, this movie actually lays the ground for you to believe that God created it, and it wasn't a figment of a scientific theory. So this movie is, of course, led by Akshay Kumar. There's Nusrat Barucha, there's Satyadev, there's Jacqueline Fernandez. All of these people in the movie really go through the hooks of disbelief in science. It starts with Akshay Kumar, who's Dr. Aryan Kulsheshwar. He's an archaeologist. He believes in evidence-based science. And of course, his wife is Nusrat, who's a professor of literature. And he's heartbroken by the destruction of the Bamiyan Buddha by the Taliban in Afghanistan, and is now a part of the Ram Setu. Ram Setu is Lord Rama's Setu means bridge. So this project, he's been brought onto this project as an expert. He has secular credentials, and this is laid out because they give him a Pakistani colleague in the movie. So because he has a Pakistani colleague, it's established that he's quite secular. And then there is this entire back and forth with the media where he says, why do we have to bash our neighbors? Kind of a dialogue. And that's what, it's established he's secular, it's established he's apolitical. It's also established that he is quite scientific in his thought process. And then, lo and behold, things happen. And when these things happen, he starts believing in myths. So I think the entire movie was a mission. It's like Akshay Kumar, who's a Canadian citizen and lives in India, has made his he can't live in India or work unless he does movies like this, where he's promoting the government's nationalist agenda and Hindutva, and so much so that you take a political controversy around the Setu Samudran project And of course, there's a book by Pushkar Bhatnagar. In 2003, he wrote, he attempted to date the era of Lord Ram on the basis of planetary positions described in Valmiki's Ramayana, which is a mythical book. Here, the consultant to the movie and scholar is a gentleman called Chandra Prakash Trivedi, who's also a historian, by the way. But he starts connecting faith and science and myth and oral history. And between this religion and culture culminates an entire lecture of preserving cultural pride in a very ultra nationalistic tone. So I was, sat through more than 2.5 hours of this movie, literally with my head in my hands, because the premise was set up real quick, and then the movie deviates into like crazy subplots of some baddies trying to destroy the bridge, and then a good guy turns up. His name is KP, and then without any notice, he starts helping Aryan and his colleagues, with his scientist called Sandra Rebello, which is played by Jacqueline Fernandez, and 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 a white person who's equally. I mean, I don't know what he's doing here, because he's disposed of really quickly, but they put in a white person for credibility as well, because it's a project of credible belief. And then the chief baddie just sits around frowning, and the main guy just runs around the screen chasing everybody with a gun. And then for some reason, there's a Sri Lanka Jaffna reference, and there is the Sri Lankan Civil War taken into reference as well. We don't know why and what the angle for all of that was. But the whole core of the movie was to show how a secular, scientifically disposed person turns into a believer of myth and oral history. It's just so bad that I swear to God, I can sit through it as a logical person.